Today we're going to take a look at the Spark Practice Amp by Positive Grid. My name is Joseph, and on my channel you'll find gear reviews, unboxings, and guitar tips. And I plan on making a bunch of videos going in depth on the Spark amp, so if that interests you, consider subscribing. Now before we get started, if you've already heard about the Spark Practice Amp, feel free to click away. I'm making this video for people who have not heard about it because I've just recently heard about it myself, and I want to bring awareness, especially with the launch sale that's going to end soon. With that out of the way, let's get started. So this is the Spark Practice Amp webpage, and this is the reason why I'm making this video. So the retail price is going to be $300, and for that price, all of the comparable amps out there don't do nearly as much as the Spark. So $300 is already a great price point, but on top of that, right now, there's a discount of $75. So it was a no-brainer for me, and I'm waiting on mine to come in the mail. But before we go into looking at some of the features, let's look at the amp itself. So this is how the amp looks like, and I think it looks great. The amp has a leather handle to make it easy to take around. I really like the color choice and the knobs that they chose. But let me know what you guys think about the looks. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's get into the features. And I'm just going to go in order here. So first is the Smart Jam feature. And the key part about this feature is that it'll listen to 8 bars of your playing, analyze it, and then generate a bass and drum backing track that you can play along to. So this is great for practicing improvisation or for coming up with song ideas. Next is auto chords, and basically you can choose any song on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube, and the app will automatically display the guitar chords for you. On top of that, you can slow down the tempo or speed of the song, and you can loop a specific part of the song that you want to focus on and get down. So this is a great tool for learning your favorite songs. But I want to mention that from what I've seen and my initial thoughts on the auto chord and Smart Jam feature, it's not going to be 100% accurate. The more complex the song is, the less accurate it will be, but I'm interested to see how accurate it will be for simpler songs and chord progressions, because if you can get that like close to 100% right, I think that will be an overall win for these features. Next is the voice command feature, and I'm probably not going to use this a lot. Let me know, do you guys use voice command that often? Because I pretty much don't use it at all. But anyway, that's there for your use if you want. Next is tone engine. So basically the Spark amp is a modeling amp. It models a bunch of different types of effects digitally, and it has a bunch of effects as well. So on the app, you can mess around with the settings, but on the app, the phone app, that's where you're really going to be able to dive deeper into the different settings and effects. But if changing settings and fine-tuning your sound isn't your thing, there's a library of over 10,000 tones or presets that you can choose from. So if you want a specific tone from a famous guitarist that you like, you can find that here. Next is about the full range sound, and the Spark amp has 2 4-inch speakers that are pretty bass heavy. So for especially electric guitar, you're going to want to tone that down a little bit on the actual settings and the amp itself. But I want to bring your attention to the fact that it can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. So having a lot of bass and that option to have more bass is great, especially when you're using it as a Bluetooth speaker. Next is home recording, and you can use the Spark as an audio interface and make songs on your computer with the included copy of PreSonus Studio One Prime. And I'm excited to use this and try that out. Personally, I've used Pro Tools and Ableton Live, so I'm interested to see how it'll stack up with those programs. But even if you're not currently interested in home recording, it is something that I recommend everyone to look into at some point. So in that way, this amp is pretty future-proof and at least gives you the option if you change your mind. This amp also has settings for bass and acoustic guitar, so that's perfect for me because I have all three of those. But again, the common theme for this amp is that it's very versatile. And finally, here are some things to highlight on the amp itself. It has a tap tempo button here, a built-in tuner, which is basically the same button, you just hold it. It has 4 preset slots, a headphone jack, and a volume knob, as well as knobs to control the modulation, delay, and reverb effects. And if you go up here, you can see it has a amp setting selector knob, which goes from acoustic, bass, and 5 electric guitar settings. So a lot of options there. And if you scroll all the way down here, you're going to see some packages that they have. So if you want to buy it with a bag, you can do so. But personally, I just bought the amp itself. And if you see the number down here, you're going to be like, oh shoot, there's only a little bit left. When I last saw this, the number was at 44,000. So that means they're expanding the maximum amount of stock for these, at least these two here. The final one with the headphones, that one is sold out. But for these two, I think just looking at the estimated shipping date, I think the promotion for these are probably going to end sometime late August. But who knows? They might extend it into September. But that's why I wanted to make this video for you guys. I don't want you guys to miss out on this great deal. For $224, this amp is a steal right now. And again, if you do end up purchasing this amp, I am going to make a bunch of videos on it. So let me know in the comments if there's a specific feature or a specific part of this amp that you would like me to dive deeper on or experiment and test on. Leave any questions down below in the comments, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you in the next video.